Would you rather?
God damn it.
No, no.
I
No,
would rather
no,
push the button.
Fox.
All right, good night. y'all. You guys are.
Spaghetti with
Good night,
yams
Trumps.
or yams with meatloaf?
What?
Exactly. But you have to pick one.
Not that better with it.
You're a spaghetti.
You're scaring me.
Oh, the yam. I wouldn't pick yams personally for the starch, but you know,
Yams and spaghetti.
I wouldn't want to eat yams with spaghetti. I mean, starch with.
You know what? I want to eat you, so you know.
I'm gonna activate Chibi. Talking about yam.
Not con.
Yam is in the name, so I mean.
I've all.
What?
Yata.
Congratulations.
Yippee!
Happy
Yahoo.
anniversary, Nick.
Yo, say.
Oh, you gotta go forward and back, right?
Oh yeah, Dark Knight. Love Dark
Yo,
Knight.
Ashes.
He's a leaky
He's been
boy.
sponsored by- After.
Allah. Bye.
Hello. How's it going, everybody? Just out of curiosity, look if I can get the Twitter one live. I've seen people able to stream on Twitter, but I have not been able to. Hmm. Okay, we're not trying it. Alrighty. Where was I? Top of the morning to you. Aye. Hello, chat. How is everybody doing today? Looks like I can do that. I think quickly here, I'm just going to run in and spend some AP real fast. Gamba time? Yes, it is. And I had no idea it was my partner anniversary. Twitch notified me, I guess, 2 days ago, and I didn't see it. So thank you to everybody wishing me a happy partner anniversary. I had no idea, so I didn't plan anything special. I apologize. It is what it is. Maybe we'll do something later on. But again, I hope everybody has had a good week. This has basically been, 3 back-to-back streams. Obviously, Monday we played some SWG, and then yesterday we covered the live stream, as well as kind of just wrapping things up on the JP event. Today we're going to be obviously starting summer here, but I've already gone through the story at least a little bit, and kind of finishing more on JP. And then we'll be doing the seal rolls as well. So I assume most of you guys have already rolled. I hope you guys had great luck with your endeavors, but let me know. We will be starting very shortly here. So if you guys wish to do your Gamba, make sure you get it in. Partner Any Luck will activate? I don't know. I definitely got pretty lucky rolling for Space Ishtar. That just made it so that these seal rolls, I at least have enough to go to pity. I have no idea how the rolls will turn out. I would love to be able to get, my NP3 that I had on JP, but we'll see. Depending on how rolls go, we may dip into the bank account, or we may just let it lie. Again, Seal's a very powerful unit, but as long as I get that one copy, I'm technically good. Monty, thank you for the 33. Hope you're doing good today. I was immediately going to go into another node. I should not do that, because if we are going to roll, I'm going to get craft essences. So definitely should hold off. Let's quickly run over to JP here real fast. Arch, thank you for the resub. Darty, thank you for the resub as well. If rolls go better than mine, 1100 St. Quartz for NP2. Yeah, that's a little oof. I definitely feel you on that. Lily, thank you for the follow while I was offline. Kizu, thank you for the follow while I was offline. And apparently a mythic hype train has started. I don't know what that means, but... Went to double pity for MP2 Seal. I'm sorry to hear that, Yams. Seal with 62 tickets? That's nice. Also, for those of you guys that didn't see, my new editor helped me get out my first video today. It's definitely an ongoing learning process, so I would ask you guys to go check it out, give me your honest to God's feedback on it. Let me know what you guys think. There's definitely been a couple of people that have commented on the thumbnail. The thumbnail is absolutely made with AI. The thing I think is hilarious is I guess people are now kind of offended by it because it's the stereotypical YouTuber thumbnail style. The thing about this is, and here's my honest to God's philosophy. I've been doing thumbnails the old way for a long time. People I think have come to be used to them. They've come to like it, so on and whatnot. Okay? I can safely say that my old thumbnail style was not helping. I don't think it was hurting, but it wasn't helping. And how do I know this? The results of my videos. The views of my videos have absolutely tanked over time. So we're just trying something new out. And I think the thing that I found funny, because I was literally just talking to VIP about this before, is that we have had several people that have expressed a distaste for it, or a displeasure for that style of thumbnail. And that's fine, but we're still going to test it out, regardless of what the community thinks. And the reason why is because no matter how much people complain, I know for a fact that they click on other people's videos that have that style of thumbnail. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like, no, don't do it, as people do it themselves. So I've learned to just kind of tune that out a little bit. I do hear you guys, though. I understand maybe there's some stuff that we can do on that. The other interesting thing is, again, people being like, oh my god, it's using AI. I don't know if you guys knew this, but my thumbnails have been using AI for the past 3 years. This is actually nothing new. Literally all of my old thumbnails, OKS used to use AI with. So it is what it is. So I don't mean to say this in a way that's gonna upset people or anything like that, but I know people fall into different categories on the subject matter of like AI usage and everything. That's fine. To me, at least as a person, I truly don't believe that using AI for something like a thumbnail is a big deal. I know for a fact there are artists that take commissions to make thumbnail art, and I think like for a like more elaborate video, that might be something that a bigger content creator would do. But I don't think it's reasonable to expect every single small content creator on YouTube that's trying to pump out videos and generate viewership and turn on a dime and be as fast and as nimble as possible when making their content to sit there commissioning artists for every single thumbnail. It's just not feasible. It never has been. Content creators have been cutting corners in the thumbnail department for decades. So to me, this is not the hill to die on with regards to AI usage. If people want to get upset over it, they can. I just don't really feel like it's a big deal. And to me, it doesn't bother me from a moral standpoint. To me, this is actually kind of the perfect use of AI. Stuff like this and stuff like, I don't know, like maybe a character for a D&D campaign that you're just coming up with, you know, on the fly for like something. It's like, that to me is where like AI art is like, it has an actual useful use. No one was going to pay for that shit. That's the way I look at it. And again, it's not that someone wouldn't, but the vast majority of people will just say, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I'm not spending it to like make some super elaborate thing. It's not worth. So I don't really have an issue with it. I'm okay with it. I hope you guys are as well, but I honestly understand if some people are not. Second Black Rail today after playing the game for 2+ years. My first copy from the NE7 ticket. Jeez. AI is a great assistant. Yeah. As long as it looks good, that's kind of my stance as well. Nice, Spartan. I feel like that kind of usage is fine. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm trying to say is like, I understand it's something that people don't like, but to me, this is like what AI is actually good for. Because it's certainly not good for a lot of things. Being anti-AI is so 2024. I don't think it's like a past thing or anything like that. I think regardless of where you stand on the issue of AI, I think common sense would dictate that there needs to be some rules, some restrictions, some guidelines for things so that there isn't abuses, there isn't theft, there isn't you know, basically sitting there and dropping data centers everywhere and jacking up everyone's like energy bills and stuff like that. So as long as like we're doing things as a species to make the impact of AI a benevolent and quality thing, I'm not that opposed to it. But the second people start using it for nefarious purposes, like surveillance and trying to like control the masses, or trying to steal the work of others, or trying to effectively like I don't know, just not kind of taking care of the problems that it causes, that's where I'm going to have a major issue with it from a moral standpoint. So I'm very much in the middle on this sort of issue. I see both the dangers and the benefits of it. I have not rolled for Seal yet, Sigil. We're going to be rolling right here in a second. Yeah, a bunch of the people on Discord are playing Pal World at the moment. Mr. Zoo, thank you for the 17. Appreciate it, bud. Hope you've been well. Haven't been able to see you in a hot second. RAM prices, yeah. Well, you did hear that the major RAM manufacturers are getting sued for collusion, right? Like, they effectively have formed a cartel and have jacked up the price. So that's what'll get you. And thank you guys for all the well wishes on the partner anniversary. But yeah. So long story short, new video out. Go check it out. Tell me what you think. Give us some honest feedback. It's the first video with the new editor. But yes, I'm aware of the thumbnail. No, I don't plan to change it. We're going to see how it works for a little bit. Test that style. If it works well, we're good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Going for a high NP level seal CAD, if I can. Is NP2 seal enough? Yes. Tech companies are practically the OPEC of consumer tech products. Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's... I think AI is going to be used for good things in the future, but I also think that AI is going to be used for some horrific shit. I know for a fact, I think they said in Ukraine that we had the first ever truly unmanned attack coordinated, where I think the Ukrainians used a drone to drop off a combat robot to the front lines. So it was completely unmanned every stretch of the way. And that's where you're like, oh, fuck. So that is the future that we are headed towards. And that's where it's like, to me, we need to make sure that AI is being used at least like for good reasons, and that it's not going to just Skynet us all one day. But yes, I spent all this morning reading the story just to get up to unlocking the nodes. It was kind of ridiculous, frankly. I have no idea if... Complete the boost joy counter. Yeah, I don't know if these special ones give us anything. Let me double check just to make sure I've made all my purchases from Le Shop. I believe I have. I certainly have QP. As you guys can see, I have a little bit of a mailbox problem at the moment. I need to get rid of these old Valentine Cs. They are a good chunk of my problem. Okay. You mean a hoarding problem? Oh, yes. How'd you feel if they made arts MPs available to use when the unit is at 80% only when using an arts chain because of the 20% charge when using an arts chain? That would be a very difficult thing to code, I would think. I mean, like, I'm not sure I expressly have a problem with it, but arts is already such a well taken care of card type that truly, like I said, I know people that feel like arts is the worst. Those people, I usually have a just philosophically different gameplay style than. Like, they are usually people more in, like, the challenge community that only do challenges. I don't think it's a, like, realistic take. I think that arts is just very, very strong. It always has been. And it just kind of has so many options that it's difficult for anyone to claim that it's not. So, to me, I don't think it needs more in that regard. Like, it would have to be at a point where somehow arts dramatically lag behind the other card types. How is arts the worst even in challenges? Like I said, it definitely takes a unique viewpoint. But, okay, chat, we're going to start out with these summer rules here for Seal. The game's best archer, as I like to call her. Earnestly, just getting the one copy is all that matters. That's where like 95% of her capability is going to be baked into her kit, and just her ability to crit people. It's very similar to the way like Jolter used to be back in the day. Like, you know, kind of with only like Merlin as the support and stuff like that, where we didn't have the ability to like loop every unit in the game and stuff like that. Seal absolutely can be looped. We can absolutely take her purely for the purposes of like trying to grind if we need to, but ultimately, and here we go, gold orbs right off the rip. But ultimately, she is just really good at. Is that going to be Shufu? It is. Ultimately, she's gonna be really good at like boss killing and challenge content. That's where she's really gonna excel. She's got that 100% defense. She's got the charge per turn, charge in the back of her NP, 50% charge baked into her kit, and the ability to just shuffle the deck and make all 5 of her cards appear. Especially when you start considering applications with the double Korean Skya setup, you have the ability to get that back over and over and over again, and it starts being just hilariously effective. Getting higher NP levels does help out. It's going to help out the amount of like damage for what she can do if you're trying to like stagger cards and stuff, and still take out like a relatively high HP enemy. But it's not necessarily going to be a requirement to get a high NP level. It's just something that where it's like, yeah, if you're greedy and you want the higher NP levels, it can really help. Skill cooldown or crit damage up? To me, you want the skill cooldown. Cutting through tickets like a chainsaw? Apparently. Considering that was my first ticket. Also, I don't know if any the mods are keeping track, but please do me the favor and do that. Do we expect any watching time soon? My schedule still has not stabilized. That has been one of the problems that I've had. Like, I'm definitely finding the time here to stream because I'm forcing that to happen. But watching things on my lunch break, I would like to get back to it because I literally have not been watching like any anime. I watched Witch Hat Atelier with her on TV, like on our couch. And we are currently watching Strange Fake, but that is all we have managed to be able to watch anime-wise. I know she's watching, I think it's like Marriage Toxin or something. Or at least she started out with, the 5-star CE already off the rip. But she hasn't even gotten to finish that. So, like, truly, over the past couple of months, I have not been able to watch, like, any anime at all. Yeah, I did the La Single. But I will try. We'll see what we can do. Try to bring that back. You believe she is viable for boss runs even in MP1? Yes. Yes. I mean, like, obviously, if someone's got an MP5 and you've got an MP1, they're going to do better than you, right? But again, the big chunk of where she is going to get most for damage from is that like crit damage. And that's why people are kind of asking about that. But keep in mind, there is a crit damage cap and a lot of units can hit it. So that's one of the things where, like, yeah, to me, the skill cooldowns are the bigger concern. You really do want it, especially for her third skill. With Karna having a summer outfit, do you think we get a summer Janako? Oh, it's possible. She's definitely out of the like current trend, I would say. But you never know. The devs do some wacky combinations. Dude, Sanquartz and got Jack. When you say got Jack, you mean got nothing, or you mean got Jack the Ripper? Because there's a difference there. He said the name. I'm sorry if I said the name, chat. To be fair, you guys baited me and I did not think about it. Wait, oh, I hit the sell button. Whoopsie. Let's go back. Yoink. Yeah, you guys can see Twitch chat on screen. Unfortunately, to live stream on Twitch, I am legally not allowed to put in YouTube chat. Kind of annoying. It is what it is. But there's also a delay. I still can see YouTube's chat, though, on my own bot. So It's not like you guys are going to go unanswered if you ask questions or anything. If I recall, JP CAD mainly used Seal for carding enemies to death. Yep. He's very effective at it. We're talking like Super Orion level of crits, chat. Just FYI. Like, you're going to be running around just being like, ha, bonk, and they're going to die. Thank you, Ein. Nice, Kimba. Had to go for pity. Yeah. I mean, this is going to happen. Remember, a lot of the reason people go to pity on a unit, especially someone like Seal, is going to be because, like, everybody really wants Seal. So that, what's the term I'm looking for there? The desire sensor basically is going to trigger, and it's just like, oh, you happen to get unlucky on that, but because you needed the unit, you didn't stop rolling. Whereas like on another unit, if it's like, well, I didn't care too much, you either just wouldn't have rolled, or you would have like rolled a little bit and then said, well, the cards weren't with me this time, and just stopped. So that's partially how that stuff happens. But it is what it is. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. I'm expecting I'm going to lose because I got lucky with the Summer Erish rolls, so I don't suspect that I'm going to have very good luck here with Seal. But we'll see. Raked over the coals this morning. Oof, sorry to hear that, Hacks, but congratulations. Glad you got another copy. Does anyone know if NA has gotten the repeat pity? We have, Fearless. As of anniversary here, we now have pity on every copy. So you are now safe to roll as many copies as you want. There will always be a pity. Which, again, I actually am kind of surprised that they waited so long to bring this out. I know it was an anniversary thing, but like, man, that's one that I would have tried to get like earlier on NA, just because like all it's gonna do is help them make money. I know that pity kind of stops that, but I truly believe that the number of players that sat there and said, well, I could go for NP2, but I already hit pity, so I'm not gonna, outweighed the amount of people that probably got screwed enough past pity. Because I think players have started to become smarter with how they roll. Doubly so now with the fifth append and the ability to switch around our append skills, that really does gut punch the need to like roll for that like sixth copy. Like there's no reason to roll above and beyond, because now you can get in like now you can get 120 from just having the singular copy. It's really just about having the appends that you want, and usually I'm going to say for most units you don't need more than 1 or 2 appends. So there's no real big need to actually try to get more out of it. Dropping 50/50s and have 90 pity. I mean, yeah, they drop 50/50s and have 90 pity, but this is a disingenuous argument, and I've pointed it out before. And I'm not trying to like single you out here, Strom, because you're not the only person that's made these types of arguments. But keep in mind that, well, yes, I do agree. Like, there's naturally going to be like a rep hit. A lot of these arguments that people try to make are inherently disingenuous. And the reason why is because they'll sit there and they'll be like, oh, well, pity's only at 90 in that game, as opposed to it being like 900 in FGO. I'm like, yeah, FGO in the meantime literally is far more generous than some of these other games are with its currency. It gives out its currency like candy, practically. I'm not saying FGO is the most generous game, but it's certainly more generous than, I'm gonna say, the Genshin style of games, where realistically speaking, you kind of start like early on when you start playing the game, you get a lot of currency, but then very quickly those one-off currency redemptions fall by the wayside and you can't keep it up over time. And so the amount of free currency you get naturally atrophies, and it's not easy to keep up the same rolling rate. So I do agree that FGO could be better in some areas, but I always have hated the like comparison to the lower pity with 50-50 style things that other gacha games do. Because again, FGO, we don't have a 50-50. You just get the unit. Like there is no, oh man, am I gonna have to go to super pity or some bullshit like some of these other games do. And it's also the fact that, again, like I said, the currency rates are just not the same. Plus, FGO units don't have varieties or gacha accessories that you need to make the units effective. Even NP1 is generally an effective unit. There have been a couple, we were talking about this the other night, that I feel like FGO's more recent modern designs have been a little bit more in that like power creepy sense. Like, for instance, if we look at Proto Merlin, you actually do have a gameplay effect from getting more copies of her. I'm not the biggest fan of that. And I feel like the more recent supports are the bigger offenders of that, as they've tried to make it so that they are actually a thing. But yeah, I look at that and I say, like, well, yes, I don't truly believe FGO does it. FGO has been creeping more towards being a little bit worse in that regard. And it's unfortunate because I think it truly is just a greed standpoint from the parent companies and stuff like that. I don't think these games need to do this stuff. I feel like rolling the additional copies should predominantly be a factor of desire and likability of the unit, not the performance of the unit. You should not have to roll a higher level just to get the like system to work or something like that, which, like I said, FGO hasn't done that yet, but it's creeping closer and closer to it. $50-50 pity is insane. Yeah. They usually, yep. Don't get me started on Nikke. I mean, I haven't played Nikke, so I couldn't tell you. Hello, Robo. Free to play is the same on FGO and Hoyo. You can guarantee about 3-ish within a year. So when you say 3-ish, Zev, are you talking pity? Like you can guarantee about 3 pity hits a year? Yeah, and I would agree with that. Like, and that's where, like I've said before, people are sitting there a lot of the time and are like, oh, like Genshin's system is so much better. And I'm like, I really don't think it is. I think, and here's why. Okay, here's the logic behind it. Chat, allow me to explain this to you. For any of you guys that maybe are a little bit slower on the take. Because you know who's fast on the take? The house. And the house always wins. Because yes, you are gambling. And straight up, you need to understand that these games will make money off of you somehow. They are always designed to do that. So if you somehow think a system is better than another one, odds are it's not. They're still getting the money out of you somehow. And that's something I've tried to point out to people for a long time, that this is the case. So a system where pity is set lower is naturally going to be stingier with its currency. It makes sense, right? Because obviously it's like, oh, look how low it is. The incentive there is we're not going to give you a lot of currency. So if you somehow are out, you're going to have to spend money. That's what they want. They want you to spend money. This is always the case with every gacha game. Every gacha game finds a way to make money off of you. I do, however, believe that because there are so many gacha games, because everyone's trying to be the next Genshin or the next FGO, you're seeing almost a like deflation a little bit, where I think gacha games are beginning to be more and more generous because they're trying to compete with each other. They're trying to cannibalize each other, and they can't quite do it. So they're having to get basically less predatory over time as the community ages and people get wiser to their tactics. So it's definitely an interesting thing. And like, chat, you guys would have to tell me, because I haven't touched I haven't touched Neverness to Everness, but wasn't Neverness to Everness one where they weren't gonna gacha the units and they instead gacha the like outfits? So you guys would have to tell me, like, have they made a shit ton of money off of that, and has that been an effective strategy? I don't know, but that's where I assume something like that is an interesting change to the what we knew as the normal formula. Is the gacha cars? Oh, I thought it was characters. I don't know. Maybe it was a different game that I was hearing that they were going to do the outfits as the gacha and not the characters. A mini board game style? What do you mean? It is a unit gacha, but no 50-50, and pity is 90, about 70-80 pearls per patch, and they mainly monetize on cosmetics. There are a few cosmetics in the gacha, but most are just paid. Lots of free outfits too. Right, and that's what I'm saying. So, like, no matter what, there's always a way that they're going to get you. If it's skins, if it's microtransactions. Like, again, I've had people sit there and be like, oh, it's so nice that, like, you can just get this, like, currency from buying, like, the Welkin Moon in Genshin. And I've always countered that mentality by saying, you don't have a login bonus. You don't get something for just logging in the game. Instead, you have to pay for it. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. And they'll be like, well, we have dailies. And it's like, yeah, dailies are something you have to do. In FGO, we get currency just for existing. That's it. There's nothing we have to do for that. Most other gacha games have that. But there are a couple, like especially more recent modern ones that don't. And that's because they've relegated it to some sort of pass or something like that. And I'm like, you realize that's them carving out that mechanic and selling it to you. So that's another way that they're getting the money out of you. But it's an interesting thing to denote. And I think this is where we have to be like honest with ourselves, remove our bias, remove our like fanboyism as to like which game is best or anything like that. And just say like, this is the tactic that these companies are using. Like, is FGO predatory? Yeah, it is. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to argue FGO is a perfect game. It's to me, the thing that I've always been okay with FGO about is that it is fair. That is to say, its rates are shit. The amount you need for pity is high, but it has always been brutally fair. It doesn't monkey with the rates. It doesn't try to get money out of you in other ways. That's it. That's all it does. So it's just brutal in that regard, but it is fair. As opposed to other games where they're maybe like sneaky and manipulative, and it really just depends. So again, they're always going to get you. It doesn't matter the game. Some way, somehow, they're making that money. And if they're not making that money, they're going bankrupt. That's the problem with it, so. Duet Night Abyss is the gacha I was thinking about? Okay, there you go. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I had heard that one of the gachas was switching to not making people gacha for the characters, and instead you gacha'd for just the cosmetics. So there are daily logins, but they're in the Hoyo app. Yeah, and I don't count that because it's not the same as far as I'm concerned. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a thing, but I actually truly believe that they're like doing stuff like that to get people to like drive clicks either on their app or their website or you name it. It's basically they realized that they could drive up the value of their site and like get it higher on like the Google ratings and stuff. 60 primos a month. See, 60 primos a month is ass. That is, to be clear, that is not even a quartz fragment. Because like what is it? Is it 168 primos is a single spin or something? Because wasn't it like 1680 or something for a multi? I don't remember. That's about one Saint Quartz. Yeah, for a month, that's rough. That's rough. Ever Crisis wanted you to pay for everything, currency, enhancing materials. Yeah, there's a lot of games that'll offer you like they'll set the rates to be really bad and then they'll give you a shortcut. Like, again, just using this, and I know it sounds like I'm picking on Genshin a lot, but Genshin's the one that I can most easily like talk about. Okay, here we go, gold orbs again. Let's reprieve from that. Oh, Moon Cancer. Oh, thank God. Based off of the name that chat tricked me into saying earlier, I was a little bit worried that this was going to turn out not to be her. The Neko arc theme. But there we go. We got our first copy. We got to try to get more. How far will I go? We'll see. I mean, again, that was about 150 quartz according to Torak. I don't know how long it's been since he updated that, but probably somewhere like 160-ish quartz. So that's good. That's great for a first copy. Nope. Nope. Okay, back to summoning. Is MP2 Seal a good stopping point? It can be. Oh my god. What? It's gotta be the Neko arc theme, man. Holy crap. Let it ride? You ain't kidding. It's been a hot second since I've seen rainbows, let alone right back to back. That's my first double in a long time. You're welcome. Thank you, chat. This is what happens when you actually song request catalysts. Am I stopping now? No. No. Greed. Partner Any Luck activated? I guess so, yeah. It is my partner anniversary. When did I get partner, chat? Does anyone remember? It's been a hot second. Let me go look it up. I'll be able to tell you. Are you going to be lucky and bad on the seal rolls? I did think I was going to be bad. I'm really surprised. At least we're getting good CEs out of this. Where is... I need my dashboard. Where are my... achievements? Oh, I didn't want to do that single, but whatever. So I just did another single. We'll back out there. Apologies to Torak, because that definitely makes the math a little weird. This is our first true multi. So I got partner in 2019. So it has been 7 years, chat. 7 years since I became partner. That's freaking insane. I've been streaming for 8 years. Tell me NP2 Seal to come home already. Good luck. I hope she comes home. I thought it was just two Shufus. The hilarious part is we haven't seen Dobrynya yet. Yeah, Doko Dobrynya. From trash to godlike, I went from NP2 Seal and 3 SSR Spooks and 1,000 Quartz to NP5 Seal and 4 SSR Spooks with 300 more. I mean, the Spooks is kind of weird, but as long as they were units that could decently help you, that's not too bad. But yeah, at least you ended up getting her. There we go, our first 4-star C. Wait, Ruler? See, this is the type of crap that's upsetting to me, where it's like, I understand the streakiness of getting 4 stars when there are multiple 4 stars on rate up, but the thing I cannot abide is 4-star spooks when you have multiple 4 stars on rate up. That just salts me. And you're sitting there and you're like, man, I really wish I could get more copies of this unit that's on rate up, and it's like, boom, here's a unit you already have like 25 copies of. Don't get me wrong, Estrella is a fantastic unit. I truly am like, I've got all the coins I could ever need for her. Yeah, does BB Dubai worth rolling? I do really like her. I think she's a very versatile unit. She hits surprisingly hard. And she is an arts looping AoE moon cancer / support. So it's up to you. I'm going to be rolling that second banner anyways for double XA. And that is the Saberface. So y'all know how that's going to be. You only did 1 extra single roll? Correct. But I'm happy to know, or happy to hear that my rolls are at least being a catalyst for you guys. That seems to be the case a lot of times with you guys. Usually when you guys roll alongside me, you get pretty good luck. What exactly is a spook? Oh, Lancer? Well, that is not one, for starters. So there we go. We finally get our first copy of Nikitich. A spook is the collective term for when there's a rate up, there is a chance of getting a non-rate up unit instead. What we consider a non-rate up showing up is a spook. So that's what the term means for gotcha purposes. Koyan's mom, who's got it going on. So, like, for instance, in FGO, the rate of getting an SSR is like, what, 0.8 chat? So, essentially, there's a 1% chance to get an SSR. 0.8 of that 1% is the rate up. 0.2 is a non-rate up unit. So, like, let's say... So we have Seal. Seal is our rate up. So we have a 1% chance of getting an SSR. 0.8 of that is Seal. 0.2 could be any other SSR that's permanently available. And that any other is what we would consider a spook. Sometimes spooks are good if you get a decent unit that you wanted. Other times they're not because... And generally I think people have a negative viewpoint of that. Because they want the rate up unit. That's the big thing. Were SSRs, every SR I rolled was on rate up? That's wild. Nonyas? We literally just got one. You see a 1 booba jiggle. Okay. Okay. Am I wrong? You're not. Got a Nightingale and ran out of court Sag. Yeah. We were having that talk about like worst SSRs in the game the other day. And truly, I don't like assigning that like moniker to anybody, but Nightingale would be one of the ones that I'd say is down there. Yes, she can be effective, but her kit is highly antiquated. So it's one of those things of like, yeah, you can use her. She can be effective. No one really wants to. And I'm not saying this to like hate on Nightingale. I think like I've seen people before that are Nightingale simps, and it's perfectly fine. A little bit to me, it's sad that they have left her in the state that she's in. Where nowadays most people are just going to use her as like a buffing stick. Berserker support is just painful. Well, Berserker support without either the ability to defend herself quite well or the ability to like buff another unit's charge so that she can kind of be used and get the heck out of there. Yeah, it definitely is painful. Summer Nightingale win? That would definitely be an upgrade. And it's hilarious because Summer Nightingale's had a CE since like the very first summer, or maybe the second, I don't remember, but like she's had a CE from pretty much the beginning. Okay, got the new necromancy. OG John is a spook with tickets, but at least I got an P5 seal. Yep. That's always nice. That's low-key when I got the ruler earlier, that's what I thought it was going to be, was Janu. And I was like, oh no. She's back again. I love Janu, but she is literally somebody that has spooked me. I think she's my second most spook. Still waiting for the 5-star Leonidas or Spartacus? I wouldn't be surprised to see a 5-star Leonidas someday. Spartacus, I don't know. Leonidas, though, to me feels like another one of those units where they maybe undervalued him. I've never been spooked by John or Arturia, and I have an account from day one. That's wild. Granted, I do get it. Like, I have certain permanents that I only have ever seen, like, one copy of and stuff. So, it's absolutely possible. I need 6 more USOs for my free SSR? Yeah. Totally. Got a Reimu into Shez on my first multi here. Nice. Is MP2 important for Seal? I wouldn't say it's important, but it definitely can help. I should do NP2 Space Arish or Seal. To me, Seal is the better unit, but Space Arish could use the second copy more. That just is the way it is. So, if you want to make the better unit stronger, go with that. If you want to make the unit that, you know, you just care about more or something in the case of Space Arish stronger, then go with that. There's truly no wrong decision on that sort of thing. It's just kind of do what you want to do. And keep in mind, chat, yet again, if you're kind of stuck in that same conundrum between Space Arish and Seal, you do have the option of waiting for banners next year, because next year we're going to get the grand duels. We're going to get every single banner in the game to return multiple times. So yeah, it's like one of those deals of if you're not sure, hold out and decide later. Next year is going to be wild. It truly is. This is like, Chat, I don't know that I'm doing banner review for next year. I just like what's the point? Why? You don't need to know. They're all gonna be there. Save yourself the hassle. Man, when are we getting the Saber banners? Oh, I don't know. Whenever we get the Saber Grand Duel. When are we getting the Archer banners? Whenever we get the Archer Grand Duel. Banner review might as well review everyone. Yeah, I think if I do anything like banner review, it will just be new units. That will be it. We will not touch any old units with next year's banner review. New unit review for the year, yeah. Content, indeed. Content you can be content with. What's up, Ayano? Field and Space Irish MP3 and around 400 Sandcourts. Nice. You're doing fantastic then. Technically, I could hit that same benchmark here in a second. How would I know which Orion to roll, Cad? Well, that's a great question. I'm gonna tell you that you should roll the super variant, not the one with the woman on his back. To see how different lines of the summoning if you have Arcuid in the cap. I got the Arcuid line too. I don't know. Artemis can loop now. That's true. Artemis is technically better now. Still. I think Seal says that for everyone. Yeah, we'd have to find out from somebody that doesn't have Arcuid. Which I will say, good luck. Most of us are vets. Most of us have Arcuid. Oh, Lancer again. Hell yeah. There we go. At least that's evening out. And getting that second copy of her will help a bunch. I was going to be a little bit depressed if I just had in P1 Nikitich, because it's not going to go well. What order would you rank Seal's Appends? And I'd assume the Appends for 120. You'd have to go back and check my video on her, but I know the skill cooldown's a big one for her. I do think the mana loading, and I don't remember if she has a good third append or not. I'd have to look. And probably the crit damage are up there. Maybe even the extra attack. Like, it is a problem. Like, everything for her is just kind of going to be good due to the nature of the unit. What was the line? She's asked if you had any pesky true ancestor royalty in your account. It's Saber on third, isn't it? Is it Saber? I was gonna say, if it's Saber, that's ridiculous. But if it's Anti-Alter Ego, that's not a big deal. Yeah. Yeah, the Anti-Alter Ego one's just actually not that worth. No, I did not get that line. Interesting. That could be anyone's sarcasm, yeah. Most class of pins are not worth it, to be honest. Yep. I mean, that's again why for years now I've been holding on to this idea that like you really don't need to be rolling the 6th copy. There's no point to it. Especially now that we knew again that we could shift our pins around. It's like, who the fuck cares? Yes, it's bragging rights. I don't think it matters. Like, chat, if you have like NP5 120 of a unit and someone rolled the 6th copy and has one more append than you, are you gonna feel inferior to them? I wouldn't. I would, if anything, I would feel superior to them. I would sit there and I would be like, ha, idiot. That, like, literally, that would be my stance. It would be like that person spent more money than they needed to. I wish they'd ungroup extra 1 and 2 into unique classes. That would be nice. I mean, we saw they had the nice quality of life for the Chinese server, so I assume Japan will get that as well. An NP1 Dobrynya in 1500? Oof, Maddie. Yeah, rolls are going pretty good for me so far. We're going to see if I can get that 3rd one at least. I'd only feel inferior if that NP6 was a single multi. Yeah, and to be fair, like, you can get the 6th copy off of, like, you were on copy number 4 and you were rolling for 5 and got a double. Like, I'm not saying everyone that has 6 is, like an idiot or something like that. Just that purposefully rolling for the 6th copy to me seems rather dumb at this point. What was the quality of life? The one that allows us to switch which append we have. So, like, if you have an append at rank 10, like, let's say you had the mana loading append at rank 10, and you wanted to switch it to the cooldown reduction append, you can just switch it at no cost. And you can switch it right back at no cost with no cooldown. Like, so there's no reason to try to, like, get every append on people now. There are more support loadout slots. My roster is just too large for 3 loadouts to work. I mean, it is what it is. I would struggle to see what they would do if our support loadouts were 5 units wide. Like 5 slots wide, because then imagine just how long you'd have to scroll just to see, like, somebody else, right? The Chinese server one, that was literally they on the support, like, selection screen. So, like, when you're trying to pick your friend's support for the upcoming battle, they made it so you can filter the extra classes into their individual categories. It is, you have to tap the filter button to see it, but it is nice. So it allows you to, like, be like, hey, I just want to see moon cancers or something. They're never going to do it, Strom. The whole reason the support system is set up the way it is so that you can't just sit there and give, like, the most powerful person on your list all of your FP. Because, and to be fair, I get why that's the case. It's extremely prohibitively punishing to, like, new players otherwise. Like, only the most developed and advanced accounts would get any FP. And therein would be the problem. Is it worth using pure prisms to get enough flowers at the end to get sealed to 10-10-10? Yes. Okay, chat. I'm gonna go get some water because I'm already almost out. Let me know if something happens. Yeah. They could at least fix it to be easier to find niche supports you need. To be fair, they have a quality of life for that on JP, but I don't think it's the best solution. Mainly with Summer Scotty, I usually pick a regular one as support just so that I don't have to search the extra slot. Yeah, that's fair. NP4 Winston Churchill, damn. Some crazy shit happened. It's in the point ladder though, but that would take a while. Yep. How do I play JP? I have two Apple accounts on my phone. So I have a Japanese iTunes account and a like North American one. My understanding is if you're on like Android, it's a lot easier to do. But since I have an Apple product, it's a little bit harder on me. What's the goal for these rolls in P5? Right now, the goal is in P3. I have in P3 on JP. I would like to match that if possible. I can certainly go deeper potentially, but we'll see. That's going to very quickly depend on luck here. I'm not addressing it, Elon. Shocker, everything's harder on Apple. Yeah, I mean, we know. Kat, are you ever going to bring back Doggo Cam? Doggo Cam is broken at the moment. Because if you guys remember, like a month or two ago, I got new internet. That seemingly broke the camera's connection with it. I got to figure that out. But also the camera's not even plugged in at the moment because of the move. We had to like move all the furniture around and shit, and I don't even know where it is. So it is on my to-do list, but it's pretty far down the to-do list. The doggo cage actually moved as well. It's now in the corner of the adjacent room next to the stream room here. So they're right outside my door. How are they doing? They're doing great. We are slowly trying to integrate Kiki's cat with the dogs. So the cat is now feeling pretty at home and adjusted here. But we've got to do some like socialization stuff, which we just really haven't had the time to do. To be fair, I think like both her and I are thinking about like taking some time off later this year because it's just our schedules have us just running around like crazy. My doggo just turned 17. Oh, congrats! That was an old wizened doggo. Got 2 SSR spooks, NP2 seal, and 1 summer shufu. Weirdest luck ever for me. Stopping now for PB Dubai. Yeah, that's pretty par for the course. Thank you, JC. They have pretty high prey drive. To be fair, the dogs have been at least socialized when they were younger, so I'm not super worried about it. We have had one unfortunate encounter where like Sasha got out and tried to chase the cat. But it at least to me, the cat reacted so fast, Sasha was not used to it. But Sasha also appeared to be trying to play, not trying to like bite. They're either bros or in an eternal beef, yeah. What MP level should I get Golden BB? That really depends. That depends on what you want out of her. If you're just going to use her as a support, you only need the first level. If you're going to try to use her as a damage dealer, I would argue the second level, but that's up to you. You could definitely use her effectively at MP1. Her damage is good. She just is a moon cancer, so you naturally understand that there's going to be some neutral enemies for that. Okay, so it's been pretty quiet here now. We had some really good luck in those tickets. We finally started to get some Dobrynyas, but otherwise everything else here is kind of just nothing. Ooh, imaginary round. That's a rare one for now. I hear Dubai chocolate summons BB. I had some Dubai chocolate earlier this year. Girlfriend did not want it, and I had to eat it. And it was actually pretty good. Yeah, I think someone redeemed dog pics a while ago, and I have not gotten them the pictures, so I need to remember to do that. Everything was in the last half, yeah. Oh. It's been so long. I'm surprised. Do we ever get additional support slots for the extra classes? No. At least not to date. We'll see if maybe in the future they do. What C's can you use for Seal? You'll predominantly want things that increase like Buster crit damage, attack up, but even something like NP damage can help in a pinch. So that would be like, you just kind of want the highest carding and critting C's you can get. Particularly like one of the best ones that I can think of is Victor of the Moon. That one's gonna be great. Miss Tutu, thank you for the raid. Welcome everybody. How's it going? How are your rolls? We are so far pretty lucky on our own here. Just getting started. And chat, if you guys haven't checked out Miss Karagi Tutu, make sure you guys go do so. Hello, Azure. Did you guys roll for Seal? Is Black Grail a good one for her? It does have 2400 attack if you have it MLB and leveled all the way up. And it does have a metric ton of NP damage. But for carding, it would not be great. Yeah, like, specifically, if you feel like she's doing enough on the carding and the critting, sure, why not? It'll help out her NP damage that will actually probably normally underperform her cards, so... But let's be honest, chat, half the time you're going to have an event C slapped on her anyway, so... Ay-ya-ya. But again, welcome everybody from Tutu Stream. If you guys have never seen me before, my name is Kadroth. I Stream FJO semi regularly nowadays. It is my partner anniversary. Yes, thank you, Tutu. It's funny because I didn't even realize that tonight was going to be it, so I didn't have anything planned for it. We just kind of got live because I needed to do my rolls. Snake, thank you for the follow. Your rolls went terrible. Oh no. Did you actually manage to get her in the end, or like give me the deets. What happened? 2 seals in my second roll, so I had to go deeper for NP1, Dobby, and Shufu. Yeah, it was really weird. We got 2 Shufus before we ever saw Dobrynya already. But that's kind of what happens with these dual rate up like summer banners. It's just very streaky. So sometimes you get like 17 copies of one 4-star and 1 copy or no copies of the other. It's just, the game can be really odd luck sometimes. Probably gonna have pain tomorrow from what? Almost a pity to get her. Yeah. Do you still have a like mountain of courts saved up at least? And will you be rolling the second banner? I got Space Arishan 4 multis and Seal in 1 multi, so I'll obviously spend everything I have and not get Artoria Ruler now. Oof, Piers. That's awful. Sorry to hear that. Chat, where are my Seal Catalyst songs? I know you guys have it in you. Heck, even the Neko Arc theme. Y'all know. We got the 2 copies during Neko Arc. It's pretty clear what works. I got Draco in 1 accidental ticket when I was pulling for Tiamat. Nice. Death to Roa, yeah. Gold orbs. Another Dobrynya? Hell yeah. Well, at least Dobrynya's showing up now. It feels like she's the only one basically since the tickets. I think we had the Estrella spook, and that was it, basically it. I bought a single $80 pack. I went from NP2 to NP5. Nice. Cad, can you explain the title? I thought I could find the answer myself without having to ask, but I give up. Unless you were rolling for an archer earlier. Seal is the best archer in the game. Chat, explain. Explain my title. What's for dinner? Girlfriend's not here right now, and she's not going to be getting back for a little bit, so we didn't have any leftovers finally tonight. I was just lazy, so I just ordered something. I basically ordered from Zaxby's and got their fried chicken, bacon, ranch fries. They were fantastic. What about Ishtar? That's true. Later on with Ishtar, we could maybe make that argument. Boy, you know it would be great if she showed up in this multi. And then I kept my 900 courts. That would be amazing. Surely that will happen, right, chat? Does anyone else do that, by the way, for passes like Sealed? No. Do I have 10 USOs? No, I used them. I did have 10 USOs earlier this year. Kiara's anti-ruler, true. Yeah, there's no one that's quite like Seals. Double XA is after my wallet. That's true. I mean, to be fair, Seal was generous. I'm just getting punished for my greed now. We need more booba jiggle in your account, I guess. Actually strong against Sabers, which is a surprise to me. It's not that surprising. I think the more surprising thing is that Seal is a moon cancer and not an archer. Like, that was one of those deals where everyone thought she was going to be an archer, and then it was like, huh? What do you mean? What do you mean, moon cancer? But yeah, is Seal actually the best archer in the game? I don't know. My title is definitely tongue-in-cheek. Fine. Giant bow isn't an archer. Yep. Mitch XA is a good contender for best archer title too. We have several non-archers that are a great contender for best archer title. So that big bow and Thuck can't be archer. Having a bow is good argument from a non-archer. Yep. The fact that there's even a debate speaks to her strengths. It does. And that's something that, like, I've told you guys before, is like, they desperately need to start doing something for the single target archers because it's pretty ridiculous how power crept they are. Draco? Yeah. Nito Alter and Artorias spooks? Dude, getting Nito Alter as a spook feels like such a, like, great spook to me because most people did not roll her in P5 right away because she was perma. She's definitely a quality unit. A lot of people love her design. So it's like one of those things of, it's just the perfect storm of she's pretty decent, she has a nice design, and almost nobody has her in P5. So it's a relatively safe spook. Alohi spook is godly. Yeah, similar deal, but I do feel like people at least tried to roll more copies of Lohi when she came out, because they kind of quickly latched on to the fact, it's like, wait, this is a really good kit. Now I think the bigger question is, how long until actual pity? Because we're definitely getting close. After this roll, can you show off the pity that shows off the QOL that shows how close to pity you are? Yeah. Is it 1100? That would be annoying. Am I going to be the third streamer today that almost hits pity? It's possible. I mean, like, again, I got 2 copies really luckily. I can't really complain. Like, hitting pity would be a little above average for me now. Uh, 1,000 miles, but it's Neko Arc. We already have 2 copies of Seal so far. You did ask for this, CAD? I did. I cannot deny that. Excuse me. Wonder if devs will put Lohi on a future SSR ticket? Probably. Like, we're no longer in the days of will we get another SSR ticket? That is a foregone conclusion. It's more of when. Whereas, like, back, if you guys remember when we got the original SSR ticket, like, nobody even thought that was gonna happen. And then they were like, yeah, we had to, like, beg Aniplex to make it happen. Lohi seems to be strong for a free servant. She is. Yeah, it should be 30 million downloads. Whatever the equivalent will be on NA, probably like 25 million or something. I don't know. Why is the SSR ticket a guarantee now? I thought it will still be a struggle. Because they've done multiple SSR tickets over the years, it's pretty reasonable to assume that they will do another in the future at some point. Whereas before, like, even after we got the first one, they made it sound so difficult that we never thought we would get a second. And yet here we are after like 4 SSR tickets. Am I winning? I certainly was winning. I don't know if I'm winning anymore. We will see. Do I have the flower for Seal? No. Yeah, Jay. Is there an AC selector on the horizon? No, unfortunately we have had the only one. The game is making you pay the earlier luck tax. I mean, to be fair, we got Space Erish and P2 easy. We got the first 2 copies of Seal, easy. The problem is the greed now. The greed is what's killing me here. I should have stopped at 2. Cat, other than Waiver, who's the best pick for the SSR ticket? I do think Tamamo's still a strong pick. Ozzy's way up there. I mean, again, OG Artori is still fantastic. There's, like, Tesla's not a bad option. This is going to be another Dobrynya. Hey, there we go. Because he is story locked at least. And Lancer-wise and Kidu's not terrible. Yes, Lancer Artori is on the ticket. So, ironically enough, now that we know the buffs that land that ticket, I would argue. I don't believe, like, personally, I would not go after the assassins on that ticket. But if you were desperate, like Jack's there, trying to remember who else is on it. I feel like there's someone else and I'm just forgetting it. Cleo, is Cleo on there? Yeah. Lee Shuin, yeah. Like a behemoth, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I really wouldn't go after the assassin on that if it were me. Berserker wise, Coup Alter is still a decent one if you need yourself a cockroach. You don't really have a strong AoE Berserker on that, unfortunately. And then extra classes, there's a couple of decent options like Nito Alter, OG Janu if you needed like some more like stall. The elephant in the room that I'm not going to say her name, who may have just appeared on screen. So like truly there are some decent options there. Have I been watching the World Cup? I've kept my eye on the scores, but I haven't really watched. Going for Galatea on mine, gonna be my Grand Berserker. Nice. I want to collect all the supports. Only ones I don't have are Tamamo, Taigong Wang. Oh yeah, Taigong Wang's there. He's also a decent one for Rider. I'd have to talk to Avalon. I don't remember if Ketz's buff put her up in the realm of Ozzy. At least in terms of damage output. Galahad, thank you for the follow. Welcome. England choked again. I mean, I feel bad for him. At least they got decently far this time, but yeah. Isn't Odysseus pretty decent as an arts looper? He can be. And so that's where I'm going to say it's like it's difficult for people because it's going to come down to your needs and wants. And some people are just going to pick a character that they want. Some people are going to pick a character that they need, and it's going to depend on the status of your account, really. Hard to win when you have to also face FIFA. True. Lohi and Phantasm Moon. I mean, again, you guys know the drill. NP2 is definitely your sweet spot. To be fair, depending on how you want to use Lohi, you could probably get away with even NP1. Lartray because of two reasons. Yeah. Her recent buff and the fact that she is the adult form of King Arthur. I could see a free SSR ticket for either 35 million or 40 million. Yeah. Do you think we'll get an evocation festival this year? On JP, probably. Those are the two reasons. Yep. When does the SSR ticket come out? It should be, I think, October-ish. It was JP's 30 million downloads campaign, so it'll be a download campaign for us. I just don't know what the number will be. And on it goes, chat. It just keeps circling the drain. Will I stream Extra Record when it comes out? That's a good question. What, like, did we actually finally get a date for Extra Record? Is it like September? Is it right before Grand Theft Auto? John Dark, thank you for the follow. No? Okay, I was gonna say, I didn't think we did, but... For me, that will entirely depend on, like, the manner in which it is released. Due to them switching companies, yeah. Oh, my new player selector available? Jesus. My first copy of Saber Lancer. I know it will sound biased coming from me, but I would go for Lartoria Guts. Again, just so you guys are aware, the buff that Lartoria gets, not only does it make her super strong, but it buffs the party as well. So there's a decent, like, just as a support reason to pick her up. And it buffs Knights of the Round even more, so... Gold orbs. Come on, Moon Cancer. Yes! Ah! Man, that third copy was rough. Chat, I wanted to go for NP5. And with the early luck, it was looking like that was going to be the case. But because this copy almost took me to pity, I think we're good. I think that's a bad sign for what the next two copies are gonna do to me. So we will punt and try to save some courts for double XA and whatchamacallit? BB Dubai. Next copy, next multi? Nah. Trojka, thank you for the follow. Welcome. get double X Alter and then revisit when this banner does in 6 weeks. That's true. That's definitely possible. Like, if somehow we go on a tear and we get double X Alter just really easy, we can do that. But one more multi? Nah. See, chat, you might be able to bait other streamers with that, but I've been around the block for years. I am no spring chicken. I am not new to this, so I know exactly what happens. Yeah, that's the other thing, chat. We got back-to-back already. We literally had 2 seals happen back-to-back in tickets, which was insane. That's definitely a clip, but 100%, 100% there's no way that's happening again. Next one is guaranteed mineral. Yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of remember using a Lancer as a buffer during the Grand Duels. Who was that, and would you still use him? I might be able to tell you. Let me go back over here. So, hilariously, the game remembers. I don't remember, but the game remembers. Why is that important? Well, I can go back. I can come over here to the Grand Duels. Now, I may not have my my prisms. Yeah, so I can't go in because I don't have a storm pod. Tell you what. Just for the sake of science. Boom. Okay. I do not remember who the heck I took. To be fair, I remember the Lancer Grand Duel. I had a pretty annoying time with it. Well, there you go. It was Ellie, and I think I was taking a support, like, NP5 Shisho on JP. Because my own Shisho was just NP2 level 100, so she was not strong enough. I'd clear out that MP shop, I will. Lancer and Rider Grand Duels are not great. Yeah, I truly believe that they were a little overzealous with them. Speaking of which, do I see an NP5? That's an NP3 that Dawn has. The roll to me. That's an NP4. That's an NP5 120. Yeah, Nana's I've used before, so we can try to do it here. Because again, I truly don't remember what the heck the gimmick was with this. Should you go for the SSR selector DPS MP1? It's difficult to say, George, just because like it depends entirely on who you have. Like, if you just want a new unit, you can go for it, but that's going to depend on whether or not you feel like your account is solid. I don't remember if that... Did it give me charge? I think it did, yeah. Ah! Does Shisho have to be NP5 to one-shot? This fight's really annoying. I don't think she has to be NP5, but she's gotta be, like, NP3 or NP4, I think. Can Erish do this? There are multiple Lancers that can clear the side waves. Lartoria's arguably the best because of the buffs that she gives. But Erish is a decent substitute. I think people were also using Mel, but Mel was a little bit more difficult because Mel didn't really provide party buffs. So you just needed an even stronger Lancer, and there's a point where it's like you can't really get a stronger Lancer. When's JP Annie? At the end of the month. So literally in like 2 weeks. Okay, so chat wants me to clear out my shop. I shall. However, here's the problem, chat. I don't know if you guys have noticed, my number of mana prisms is not getting bigger. It's dwindling. I'm having to be more and more selective with what I take out of the shop every month because there's so many things to buy at this point, it's getting a little ridiculous. Just roll more? Well, we don't need to. Yeah, I'm going to sit on my 698 quartz and 2 tickets. Technically, I have more than that because I do have quartz fragments, but that's definitely going to be a little bit spicy. So let's try to clean up after the rolls here. We're going to try to consolidate all the CEs that I got. See, this would have been a good catalyst. What about Mel? You could use Mel to clear the AoE units there, but the one shot, I don't know if you could do it with a single target Mel. You probably got to have somebody else to one shot. So a lot of the Grand Duels kind of incentivize you using not only your own Grand, but somebody else's Grand. So that was definitely, the Lancer Duel was definitely one of them where you needed both an AoE Grand and a single target Grand to do their job. So a lot of people ran Mel as an AoE, if I remember correctly. What MP did I roll? You can see the results pinned at the top of chat. We had 874 quartz spent, 3 seals, 4 Dobrynyas, and I don't remember, was it 2 Shufus? And then an Estrella spook. So altogether, only the 1 spook. Not terrible, but definitely could have been better in the end. We got very lucky with back-to-back seals and the tickets, and then we tried to go for the 3rd copy, and it just hosed us. Shisho hits Indra for Divine. Yes. I believe that's like the only thing, because Indra is unstunnable, and I believe Indra invalidates a lot of the niches that other units have. Actually, I don't know if you can hit Indra for Divine. I think there is like just some BS there on that. You'd have to talk to Avalon. I truly don't remember what the gimmick was with that one, but I do remember it just being like, they made Indra just really annoying on purpose. You can hit him for Divine? Like I said, I wasn't paying super close attention there, so maybe I did, but I do remember there's some bullshit gimmick there where it's like he just invalidates like 90% of the Lancers that can be used against him. So with the moon MLB, definitely nice to see. We actually did really well on the 5-star Cs, all things considered. Especially for that amount of quartz. I'm surprised to even have 2 MLB at that amount. So if you guys need CEs, I will definitely have them, but I'm sure most of you guys have that on lockdown anyways. I think we just go for triple MLB here, just for the consolidation of space. I really doubt that I'm going to need to run more than 3 MLB gold Cs anyways. The 100% power mod against him. Yeah. It may be... Then correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Maybe it's just specific to the challenge fight. Maybe that's what I'm remembering, and not the actual Grand Duel. Because I remember there being some really annoying BS there. No one should have a problem buying out the event shop. You're not wrong. I think we locked those last two. And then, boom, we're good. So we ended up with basically full MLB copies of the 3-star, 1 shy of full on the 4-star, and 3 MLBs of the 5-star, which is just fantastic for the amount of courts spent. So kind of got screwed a little bit maybe in the results of the 4-star units, but the 4-star craft essences, really just all the craft essences in general, were fantastic. Okay, let's combine copies. Indra has special resistance if the mobs are up. I do remember people trying to nuke him through that, which was just wild. I don't know why they did. It seemed pretty obvious to me that the game wanted you not to do that. Isn't Ruler Kagatora good for the next ordeal call? For the current one? Yes. Realistically, rulers in general will just dominate this one, and rulers are also good for the final one because it's the ruler one, so having good rulers moving forward is just very beneficial to your account. Yeah, Ozzy and Taigong Wang are probably the better two to get there, George. Okay, the rest of this just appears to be fodder. Double checking. Okay. I should just have the one rare prism there from Estrella. Are my craft essences still below the limit? No. Holy crap. We may have a problem, chat. Okay, no, I should be good. Yeah, I hate the fact that we still don't have the combined craft essence quality of life. I know JP hasn't had it for that long, but it's still one of those things where it's just a really nice thing to have. Utsumi Eris? Yeah, Eris, I tried to tell people that Eris was a very, like, sneakily good unit. She's 4-star, but there is a strong argument to be made that, like, from that summer event, she was the best 4-star, by far. That summer is just stacked. And if you guys remember when I was doing the new player account, I was talking about it when those banners came around, that, like, it made for such a difficult choice because all 3 of those banners had fantastic units that you wanted for your account. Uh-oh, CE lock? What, did I burn Event C? There. To be fair, there were 2 bronzes that I didn't care if they went in. So if you saw that, like for instance, this one, that's not a problem. Okay, we should be under now. What am I doing? We're looking at servants. So, do I have any foes in my inventory? Not per se. I should have the room. Go pull out some foes. Those have 190 days each. I think it's time to pull out my star foes. Okay, that was a 5. I have no more 5. Fuck you, game. Okay, all of my foes are out. Let's start with Seals, just so that if there's any issues, it immediately happens with her. Right. Ugh. What's going on? Why are there so many filters? Yeah, we'll have to see. I may have to go buy my foes out of the shop. Like I haven't bought foes out of the Mana Prism shop or out of an event shop all year. That's how far ahead I was. I think I'm finally at the point where it's like, yeah, I guess I should buy some. We don't have a higher tier of that one. Might go Spooter Woman or Pants. What? Okay. Let me see how many foes I have left. Go to Shufu. That'll be the easy way to tell. Because logically, I need 3 more for the next banner, 3 more sets, and 1 more for the welfare. And I clearly do not have that. So I think we abstain from foeing Shufu for now. Just cuz. Okay, 63 Lancer. I really wish NA would get the quality of life that JP had for the leveling up, so that if you get a proc, everything just refunds. That is such a nice one for just leveling units. You don't feel like you have to nickel and dime the system anymore. And you're just like, whatever, if it procs, it procs. I already get all of them from the missions. Like the anniversary missions? Yes. Oh, whoops. Doesn't that come with the experience update? Yeah. No, the OC missions? Oh, for doing more story? I have not done more story yet. That's on the agenda. I know chat's been asking me about the Olga too, but story is more important than Olga right now. I don't have any flowers for Seal. What the fuck, man? I tried to warn you guys. Did you guys not, like... We talked about this when we were leveling, like, Summer Erish and her skills. That there was a little bit of an issue there that we needed to make sure that we had enough for Seal. And I counted out how many were necessary. And then I think one of Summer Erish's... No, I think I ended up having just enough. But make sure, if you guys are low, go buy them from the Pure Prism shop. If you haven't already. There are more in the event, but as chat said, they're in like the ladder, so it's not something that you can quickly get. Setting up for Aqua Olga than doing it? Yeah, that's usually how it goes. The one that's actually going to stress you doing it is Earth Olga. Earth Olga is a stressful experience. At least somewhat. Let's see if we can proc it. Damn it. Trying to squeeze out the last little tidbit of experience here. Damn it. Now this'll proc. Much to my annoyance. Whatever. Eat an archer one. Aqua was annoying. Yeah. Really only the first Olga was like super easy. Aqua's not too bad. The third and the fourth are the hardest. But to me, the third is on a level all its own. Like, there is nothing else that is as hard as it in the game. At least if you're doing it on the highest difficulty. But even on the base difficulty, I think it can be argued that it's still a challenge. Doing it on the second hardest difficulty is like it was pushing my JP account pretty hard, chat. I could have definitely like sat down and plotted out a course to like do the highest tier one. I would have probably failed and gotten frustrated and spent hours on it, so I just never did it. Because you got to understand, there was not like an actual reason to do so. There really just wasn't a reward for doing it on the highest difficulty. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that they didn't, because I would not have had it. I wouldn't have found it an enjoyable experience. Okay, so that is my sum total is 26. This implies that there are some in my second archive. But I don't care about the ones in my second archive. Okay, so do I have any same class? No. How good is the new Shufu? She has some niche uses, but honestly, she's arguably the worst SR in this lineup of summer units. We'll see. Who am I rolling for next? We'll be rolling in 2 weeks for BB Dubai. You only get 1 grand for all the extra classes? No, you get 2. You get 1 for extra 1's grouping and 1 for extra 2's grouping. Because I'm happy. What other extra class numbers do I have? I don't know that we care. just gonna use all those 4-star embers. Chuck in the assassin ones. That gets me to 75. Let's see if we get a proc. Is BB Dubai meta? No. Like it's difficult to call anyone meta at that point. Actually, I'm not going to use the Berserker Embers because I may do a 120 project with Berserker in mind. On a grand BB Dubai and Seal, yeah. Okay. So the big thing I need to look at now is my experience. I need to make sure that shit doesn't expire because we are very quickly coming up to a point where it's like I'm probably not going to level people up too much in the immediate future. So we're going to steal from the back of my list here. And we're going to start with 4-star experience, since it goes further. Is that she fell off? I think it's more that she was never really meta to begin with. She's always been a little bit of a weird unit. She definitely deals good damage. Like, I find her to have value in the fact that she could be yet another like art support, but she also can just be a loopable AoE arts moon cancer that hits hard. Technically we have other units like that, but they're not as fluid as BB is and as easy to use. And in most cases, they do not hit as hard. Just not a must roll, yeah. Yeah, I saw somebody on Twitter trying to say that, like, a hot take that they had was that you don't have to roll Castoria for FGO, and I'm like, that I don't feel like that's that hot of a take. Like, most of us have said that. But also at the same time, if you tell people not to roll for Castoria, and then they go off, and like let's say that person believes you, and then they go off and they use Castoria on support, they're gonna think you're an idiot. That you told them not to roll. So it's one of those deals where, like, yeah, it's like, yes, you technically don't have to, but everyone's gonna advise you to. Did I roll for Summer Shiki on JP? I did not. I believe she came out at a time when I didn't have a whole lot and was abstaining for a potential saber face. Only meta characters are the supports when I got Castoria. Suddenly my first SSR Scheherazade became very usable. Same with all the looping sustained supports. They're enablers. Yes. And that's what I've always tried to tell people. It's like, you don't have to have them, but you're just playing the game on hard mode. If you want that challenge, go for it. Some people love it. My generalistic advice, though, is not to. Like make sure you're rolling the supports. You actually do want them. But I understand if people make the informed and conscientious choice not to. Is this like a new music video from Imagine Dragons? Do I have nothing? Okay. You make me on hard mode? Hey, what's up, Fox? Chat, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys go all follow Mr. Fox for us. He is a lover of Barghest and also streamer of FGO. How are you doing tonight, bud? Summer Buki's a better arts looper, and Summer Tiamat absolutely shits all over her for support. I feel like on one hand I can't argue with that. On the other hand, it's just generalizing everything to the LOL roll and AoE berserker argument, and I've never liked that mentality. I feel like if all you do is roll berserkers, you'll eventually come to regret it. So it's like, yeah, you can rely on a berserker to carry you for a good chunk of the way, and yes, berserkers are strong, but you still want members of every class to help you. But do you have to roll? No. Lost in Power World since the update? Yeah. So how are you liking it? And had you played Power World before the update? Moodzers, thank you. It's always nice to have a flexible unit, to be fair. The argument of just roll 2 units instead of 1 is not a great argument, but I do kind of agree. It's not like most people already don't have one of those other units, so. The 12 gauge? I love it. Nice. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it my first time around. Ultimately, I felt like the game had a lot of promise, and I probably should give it another chance at some point, but I'm just not feeling in the mood for Power World right now. So I'll probably check it out at a later date when it keeps getting updates and stuff. That being said, I still find it hilarious that the meme game that was Pokemon with guns has become one of the biggest games out there, much to the annoyance of Pokemon and Nintendo. And I actually love that. I know there's some Pokemon fans out there that love Pokemon and they don't want to hear that stuff, but truly, I'm of the opinion of there should be competition. You shouldn't just have a monopoly on an idea, and you shouldn't just be able to only put out shit games that you overcharge for over and over and over again. I feel like most people that I know that play Pokemon regularly go back and play the older Pokemon games. They don't sit there and consistently play the new ones. I think there is a brief stint after one comes out where people are doing the in-game and doing raiding and stuff like that. But I feel like most people go back and play the older Pokemon games, which I think is a testament to the older games kind of being better. They have no passion for the series. Yeah, and that's where it's to me, I think it's a good thing that Power World's coming out and doing different stuff and actually challenging them on that. I know a lot of Pokemon fans get up in their britches about it, but I think it's actually good for Pokemon that there is a competitor and that it's going to make the developers consider hey, what can we do better? Fuck Nintendo with their shitty remix. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's what's crazy. To me, Pokemon is yet another version of like Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed, where it's they just keep putting out the same shit over and over and over again, and then somehow expecting it to be players expect that it's this one's the one, it's gonna be so great, and it's guys, it's the same engine, it's the same reused assets, it's the same thing year after year. They tweak one little thing, or they add one new system and they put it in a different landscape, and you fall for it every time. And not only do you fall for it every time, you pay them $70 for it. Oh, wait, no, you don't pay them $70 for it. You pay them $70 twice because you're a major supporter and you want to get both versions of the game. Yeah, you're being milked. Like, that's the only thing I can say. And if you're willingly being milked and you enjoy it, that's fine. But there is a point where you gotta, like, wake up and be like, hey, wait a minute. This sucks. They need to do better. Unfortunately, I think the only way that they're gonna ever realize that is if at some point Pokemon fans decide they've had enough and they basically pull back and they don't buy the next iteration, right? Like, that's the only way it will work. The only way. Actually, let me look at the nodes. Okay, no. Okay, so our level 15 node, which is all we have at the moment, is Assassin. That's Assassin for bronze. Our 25 node is going to be Saber for silver. And Archer for gold. The event? Yep. That's all I'm gonna load out for right now. I guess I'll slap the damage she on Lartoria, just in case someone wants it. Nope. I want the C. Thank you. What did we say? Archer was... Saber was silver. Assassin, yeah, so Archer is gold as well. That actually works out pretty well since we have Umu Bride there. Put a bronze up on support there. Actually, we'll put bronze there as well. Technically, Assassin needs bronze, so maybe we'll invert this. I'll do bronze here, and I will do gold here. Also, whoops. Saber silver. And Archer is gold. Boom, there you go. In honor of Fox, we put up the Bargu. I'll put silver there. There we go. Raw Bargu, yes. That is the reaction I anticipated. So now it's up on support chat. You guys should be good. I have no idea what this node's even gonna have. So we need to load out our own supports here. I am literally just gonna pretty much put everything in that I can that's event bonus. We're gonna slap the damage C on. With this much, like, drop bonus floating around, it's not gonna be a problem. I should be good on just about everything I try to do. So I'm gonna keep leveling up the Mystic Code from the K. No, sorry, not K and K. The Mihoyo event, because I still haven't finished it somehow. It's because I've just been sitting on like whatchamacallit instead. Like using the plug suit. Did you know that I love Barcast? I heckin' love Barcast. I did, Fox. I did in fact know. It's also, she's a summer unit, right? So it's like, yeah, I have Jarcher and her up. It just, there you go. I have everything that people would potentially. I have Squirtoria up too. So I technically have 3 summer archers put up for right now. And if chat needs like a different unit specifically, just let me know. I can always switch that stuff around. Kat, did you get her? I just got her. Yes, we got her in P3. You know the best place to grind secret gems with sabers? It's gonna be the training grounds. Unless there happens to be a node there for Bleached Earth, but I don't remember if one of them has it. Saying 3 MLB 5-star Cs to GMP5. No, I did not. We were commenting about that earlier, that I actually got really lucky on the 5-star CE drops. Like, I felt like that was a vast overperformance for the amount of courts that I rolled. Oh, we did it all free to play, but it was 874 courts. Or like the equivalent. I had tickets and stuff. Kat, do you think buying monthly storm pods is worth? No, I do not. At this point, even if you're like new on JP and you're starting out, remember you get 3 a day, and you will keep getting 3 a day, and you will never stop getting 3 a day. So do I think it matters? No. No. Like, yeah, you might be behind. There might be a like, hey, temporarily you want to buy more, but I think long term, no, it does not make sense to buy them. Like, you will catch up eventually and you will finish eventually, and you don't really need to be in a rush. And JP's not going to force you to be, since all the Storm Pod content is done for right now. If that changes, I will change my perspective on that. Real quick, chat, because I do have my Storm Pods, because today is the shittiest day for the event. I am literally just going to go do my Storm Pods, speaking of. Because there's truly, like, no reason for me not to. But yeah, I think adding monthly storm pods to the shop was a necessary thing to allow people to catch up, but it was not a smart thing. And at the end of the day, at least on the players' behalf, like for the devs, it's smart for them to add it, but it's not smart for the players to buy it, if they can help it. But at the end of the day, I think my biggest gripe is, again, that we don't really have a good influx of mana prisms overall. The devs need to do something about that. There is way too much opportunity to spend mana prisms and not enough optional opportunities to get them. Because I think that's the problem. I think the devs are trying to create more drain on mana prisms overall, but they're not doing so in a smart way, because they're just putting up good stuff in the shop that potentially will get you to spend it. And that's great for their purposes, but the problem is, if you're a new player, there's all this great stuff in the shop, and what do you do? What do you buy? Like what do you go after? And that's the problem, is like, there's too much. You don't make enough mana prisms in the game to be able to like effectively purchase out the shop every single month. So that becomes a problem. And I think the devs need to have a way for newer players to be able to get more, at least selectively, but maybe not via the dailies like they've done it before, because that's the way that every player would get them then, and then they would just kind of be repeating the same problem. So if their goal is to drain mana prisms from the players that have hundreds of thousands, their choice is smart, but it's not smart for new players, and new players are the lifeblood of your game, so they definitely need to change it for the new players. How long does it take to catch up eventually? Because at this point, we've got 9 class scores, 9 grand scores that aren't getting frequent no storm pod periods. It's going to take several years at this pace. Huh? How could it take several years, Lucky? And here's the reason I want you to think about this. We had the Storm Pod system for what, a total of 3 years? Like, that's it. That's the maximum. Like, that is the maximum that it would take you to do it. Now, yeah, maybe players don't log in every day. Maybe they don't do stuff. But also consider that any free Storm Pod period from that works out perfectly. The real problem that I think you have is that it's gated. At least like doing things like the Grand Duels is gated behind you completing part 2. So until you complete part 2, you are not going to have the easy access to that stuff. But that already was the case anyways. You don't get your Storm Pods until that point. So it just is what it is. So you slowly whittle away at it. You do your like 1 or 2 of that every single day. You get a shit ton of resources from that, which is fantastic. And that I think is the best argument for buying them, right? Mr. Fino, thank you for the raid. Welcome everybody. And thank you, SL. How's it going, bud? What were you guys up to tonight? Ooh, FGO, were you rolling for Seal as well? And how'd the rolls go? Chat, if you guys haven't ever checked out Mr. Fino, make sure you guys go do so. People who are playing JP in 2025 didn't need to spend Storm Pods on Grand Duels. New players do. I think need is a strong word, right? Because if you're a new player and you're getting to that point, you have to have somebody to be able to grind anyways, to be able to work on that. Like, yeah, naturally you can get the stuff, but like literally that is the opening process, right? So you have to already have somebody at level 100, rank 10 skills, which is not that hard to do. But then also you're going to get a lot more out of it if the person's on 10. You're going to get a lot more out of it if like you use somebody else's as well, especially if you don't have like NP5s and stuff like that floating around. So I don't think it's a crazy thing, right? Man, snag 1.5 pity. Really made me sweat that first half though. Yeah, I got... We were rolling out my tickets at first, and I got back-to-back of her. We got super lucky, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to go for the third copy. And you guys can see if you look at the pinned result in chat, like... that third copy was pretty much pity. So I was like, I went from being super lucky to, oh shit. But that's the way this game works. Like, sometimes you just luck sack and sometimes you get screwed by it. And it's just hilarious because the more you roll, the more it happens both ways. But at least you got her. I'm glad to hear it. Again, I hope you guys had a fantastic stream. If you guys need to take a rest or take a break or anything, feel free to do so. We are just currently wrapping up after our rolls. I'm doing my Storm Pods because I realized today is the shittiest day for doing nodes in the event. So I may as well spend my Storm Pods down. And with anything left, we'll go spend it on the event nodes. But we were just discussing Storm Pods and whether or not, like someone was asking me whether or not I felt like it was a good idea to buy the Storm Pods. And I said, no, I really don't feel like it. Because I don't think you need to rush the Grand Duels. I do think you can whittle away at it 3 a day. I think those nodes are logically better than the Ordeal Call nodes. I think you get far more bang for your buck out of them. If you want to buy more for a short, like, oomph, you can. But keep in mind your mana prisms, especially for a new player, are better used on other things. That is the issue that you're going to have. So... ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a very like difficult decision to make due to the strength and value of those farm nodes. For me, I would just pace it out over time and get it for free. And then naturally, yeah, if you get a period where, because usually when we do, it's a rate up period of like 2 of them being free. So that's your time to just go boom, 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 and just like farm them out like crazy. So realistically speaking, what you need instead are apples, not buying the Storm Pods. That's what I would do, is save your apples for that and try to make that like your big grind moment. April and May in 2026 were Stormpod free Grand Duel periods, and I don't see them not running those campaigns once or twice a year. Yeah, I agree. I think that's what's going to happen. In fact, they'll probably make it over time where every single one of the Grand Duels is free at some point during the year. I don't know if like back then they did it. I know in the past they had historically done like 1 or 2 of them were free at a time. But yeah, I could see them going forward where they start making it where every single one is free. So it just becomes like you wait for that time and you just grind it out in that. And again, you only need about, I think as I was telling Chad, it was somewhere between like 35 and 38 runs. I think my average was about 36 runs to clear a grand score. So, yeah, that's a lot of runs, but it's not like you see people doing like 500 runs of this. You really don't need to do that much. So it's like, if your goal as a new player is just to get it done, I think that's really all you got to do is you got to run through there and almost at that point treat it like a lotto. Just go ham. Because again, you're getting really good rewards from it anyways. You can nat AP Grand Duel in a week. Yeah. After your stream, I did a random paid single on Sherlock and got him. Yeah. I was going to say, I think, and I don't know if Fino's still here, but Fino, have you still been doing the paid La Single every single day? Because I know I haven't been doing it. Like, I started doing it when it first came out on JP for a bit, but I kind of have just stopped. And since it came to an A, I haven't been doing it very much. So it's not that it's a bad deal. It's a great deal. Like, it's actually really efficient, and you do get lucky from time to time. I just didn't want to spend that much money on the game, so I kind of stopped doing it. Because to me, trying to do a paid one every single day, yes, it's a cheaper deal, but it does begin to add up. Especially when, like, some of the banners you don't necessarily care about. Like, you have everybody on that banner, and it just is what it is. Let me actually see. I don't think I can buy anything for 150, but I didn't check the price of these. Oops, hold on. Oh, come on. I want to see the info. Thank you. Okay, so this is the tourism point C. So I actually do want these the second I can get it, but I need 200 of each. The closest is going to end up being my... Oh, my bronze. My bronze is the closest. That's somewhat surprising. I guess we go load up with bronze and do the Dubai airport. Thank you, babe. Out of curiosity, why were you doing 90 star and not star? I was doing the... If you're talking about Ordeal Call here, I was doing the 90++. And the reason why is I was doing it for these. It's not the greatest drop rate of Meteor Shards, but I truly just don't have a better node to sit on at the moment. That is my problem. Like, I think this is the... No, hold on. Where is the newest one? Yeah, where's the Vritra one? Not that one. All the way down here. In Tasmania. Yeah. Yeah. This is basically our new one. And as you can see, on JP, I had to farm the crap out of this node because I desperately needed Dragon Reverse Scales. I do not need to farm Dragon Reverse Scales. I've been playing from, like, the early months of the NA server. I had to farm Dragon Reverse Scales back in the day. No longer do I have to farm them. They are dead to me. So that is kind of where I'm at. I only farm the things that I need at this point, and need is a very loose interpretation of that word. OC3 is that soon? Dang. Yeah, we have OC3 in 2 weeks. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do the Ordeal Call prologue. Because unfortunately, and again, just for anybody, like, don't leave stream right now. Listen to what I'm about to say. Ordeal Call 3 is time sensitive. you have until the end of September to clear it. Then it goes away. So you will have to wait probably until about next February before it comes back as a main interlude to do it. And so that's why I'm telling you guys, like, you do need to hustle up and do it. This event, thankfully, you have 6 weeks to complete. The actual summer event you have 6 weeks for. But Ordeal Call 3, you're going to be a little bit limited in that regard. That's definitely going to be hot. The soccer faces need so many dragon scales, I guarantee you they don't need 700 of them. But yes, if you're somebody that only has, like, I don't know, like 100 of them, yeah, you might want to look into that, right? Okay, so anyways, like I was saying, let's go load up what it's like. Cad needs MLB of the bronze, and then he gonna take MLB of the bronze, and he gonna take MLB of the bronze, and he gonna use MLB of the bronze. This'll get it. I'm unfortunately stuck on LB7, 10-3. Yeah, I get you. Do I have to read this summer story to understand OC3? Yes. I would argue you do. Like, I could definitely give you a TLDR of, like, and Chad, I don't know if you guys have read the intro to the story yet, but BB invited us to summer in Dubai. That's the TLDR. Okay? So, like, we're here. We are touring Dubai. We are needing to experience pleasure in Dubai. Like, joy. We literally have a joy meter. So, that's it. That's all there is. Oh man, is this gonna take every single... Yep. Every single charge skill I have. Let's go. To be fair, my refund should be insane with this. How do my seal rolls go? They are pinned at the top of chat. There will definitely not be shenanigans. Yeah, as someone in VIP put it earlier, this whole event was avoidable if we just said no to BB. But, I mean, hey, that's the way these things go. Tea. I love tea. It's an impossible task, yeah. They kept summer open for that long, given it's the only way to access OC3. Yep. But yeah, so make sure you guys are kind of getting on top of this and trying your best. Tea with caffeine? I don't know. I'm gonna assume she did not bring me tea with caffeine, because she knows. Granted, in a weird way, caffeine has a tendency to keep me awake at night, but if I'm tired enough, I go sleep. BB absolutely would have just kidnapped us in our sleep anyways. Probably. And if not kidnapped us in our sleep, she would have just locked us in a dream, right? Like, not like that's it never happened before. And Anders, thank you for the follow. Sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, so now I can at least buy that. Turn off that filter. Oh, wait. I didn't skill up Seal, did I, chat? Uh-oh. We leveled her all the way up, and I forgot I just did not actually level her skills. hold on, chat. Let me deal with this. And let me explain this to you. This is the most important skill. Do it first. Technically, also, in my opinion, like all of her skills, you want a 10-10-10, but in my opinion, her 100% defense skill is also a huge deal. Oh, wait, sorry, that is this one. Did I grab my 63 flowers? Yep. I have 65. Ah! Calculated. I am precisely out. Having cereal for dinner? There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's nice to have breakfast for dinner. Damn, look at you overcalculate your maths. Well, it's more because in a weird twist of fate, I have not done Ordeal Call 2 yet. I know, the shame, chat. I will definitely be getting to it at some point here. Probably next week is when we'll start. Or maybe, like, during Ordeal Call 3. Because we'll already have to read Ordeal Call 3, so I don't know. My screenshot folder will get bigger. Yeah, Chiome's in there, and Chiome very quickly has a nice scene, Avalon, so... Broke with statues? Oof. I feel that pain. I mean, I don't feel that pain on my NA, but I feel that pain on my JP, so I get it. Okay, there we go. Now, chat, I also must request that while I do like this form, Second Ascension is best. Okay? And we will show you why. I have it on random. That's fair. You know what? Like, I can't argue if you just are a, like, enjoyer. We're also gonna go unlock her 5th append. You're gonna need that. I have no idea what her append material requirements are, so if it takes more of the flowers, I'm just screwed. You don't like it? No, it's not that I don't like her other ascensions. I do. It's just that the second ascension is best, and you will see. Yeah, I've definitely had a couple of Grand Seals that were absolutely redonkulous and saved my bacon at times. We had one fairly recently as well. Oh, Meteor Shards, chat. Look, me sitting on that node in Ordeal Call is paying off. And I can technically do one more. I think for the purposes of the event, we're going to go with load magical energy. Just to make charging easier. Especially because she is not a 120 target for me. For a lot of you guys, she probably should be. But for me, no. I know why, but the third ascension is just by far the least popular, to my understanding. Yeah, and I don't think it's bad. Like, it truly... I think it's just because it's the FGO-specific variant. The others have been depicted elsewhere. Okay. A rat in a cage. Let's see. I do wish to show her off real quick here. My brain, moon cancer. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, quick card effectiveness, buster card effectiveness, 3 stars per turn, and tourism points. Or HP recovery amount, MP gained by 10%, MP strength. We'll go with the point C. Wait, let me remember her charge allotment here. Technically in a 3-3-3 node I'm gonna need more, but we're gonna make it work. I don't care if this is like not the optimal clear, chat. Okay, so technically I started out with her cards. So this is already huge. If we take a look at the skill, it is on a 6-turn cooldown. The second I depress it, though, it will be shorter due to the fact that I have the 5th append. So, one of the things to denote here is going to be that basically I don't need to depress this turn because I can probably force it. It's not like these mobs have a lot of health. And that skill should become a 5-turn cooldown the second I press it. So we're instead going to stagger like this. Hopefully Koyan can, there you go, take out the 1. We're just going to go ahead and pop it. There you go. It's 5 turns. I mean, realistically here, it's not going to matter for the crits because she's got a 100% damage bonus. But chat, this is how you single target a wave. If you guys have never seen this before. We didn't get the Neko arc for the first time. I do see a lot of similarities between her archer outfit there and MASH, though. I got her, that's what matters. Indeed. Like, getting Seal at NP1 is the biggest accomplishment, because, again, her crits, as you guys can see, are going to carry it. And during this event, you're not going to care what MP level you have, because MP1's going to be slaughtering due to the 100% damage bonus. Outside of it, yeah, there'll be times that you will care what MP level you have, but it's not going to be a big deal, I would say. Yoink, and you know what? Why not? Let's just Star Soaker even harder. Okay. Chat, like I said, this is how you solo a node with Seal. It's hilariously effective. Thank you, Delta. Appreciate it. Also, Alma Guest is giving me some memories. You should like to be a certain type of person to get to 120 for gameplay reasons. I don't think it's as hard as people make it out to be, but it does require an understanding of the game's mechanics and somewhat of a relative ability to like stay on task and to be able to grind and stuff. So, like part of the reason I have so many is just simply because I've been very efficient at all points of my account. I usually don't waste AP. I am exceedingly selective as to like where I, use my resources and stuff. And I hoard experience. Absolutely hoard it. Again, you guys can see what's going on with my mailbox in that regard. So it's not an uncommon thing for me to just sit there with a mailbox full for most time. So that's how I managed to make do a lot of the times for this sort of thing. It was, oh, I wanted the event shop. I don't know why I came into DaVinci. Oh, I'm just shy. We only have 143 of the camels. Feels bad, man. To be fair, the first runs I did not have CEs, so it just is what it is. Chat, would you guys prefer the point CE on support, or would you prefer a drop C? I get the feeling you guys are going to prefer point C now that I think about it. Drop C's? Really? Okay. I just figured most people rolled. Event is long, the drops probably don't matter that much. Yeah, that's my logic. My logic is the actual gate is gonna be the ladder for you guys. Points up with time gate, but I don't know how strict it is. Yeah. I truly don't know either. I'm not, like, this is one of those we really don't have to go super hard into the time gate and stuff. It's really just not gonna matter. That's the truth of the matter. People are gonna slack off. Yeah, that's also true. Drops now, points later. That's fair, actually. For day one, we definitely should have drops up because everybody needs to get their CEs. Later on, people have MLBs and stuff from having CE drops, so I don't think it's as big of a deal. Chat, I am done with AP on both servers. We are done with our roles. I am going to go ahead and end it early, and I'm going to send you guys over to somebody else who's online. They are also streaming, I believe, their roles. So why don't you go give Nova a hello from me? And again, I'm not going to be streaming Thursday or Friday this week. Since I streamed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with you guys, we were here. I don't know, maybe at some point I might be able to sneak in a cheeky weekend stream or something, but we'll have to see. In the meantime, go give Nova my love. I will see you guys for the next one. Later.